An Erios original.
Hello and welcome to Web Crawlers, the podcast where we do a deep dive into some of our favorite unsolved mysteries. Each week, we will introduce our topic, lay out our research and findings, reveal some conspiracy theories, and conclude with our own hypothesis. Who knows, we might even solve a case. I am Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
And I'm producer Maria.
Sick.
Cool.
Web Crawlers has a Patreon. Ooh, Tracy's on the dock. Little does she know, we are already recording. Right? Tracy's our new fact finder. Web Crawlers has a Patreon to get access to rewards, bonus episodes, shout outs, merchandise discounts, and more. And I will be, this is important. So we recorded several versions of my new rap debut, Alley Time. Melissa did a remix. Maria did a remix. So we're going to do a vote about which remix is the best. And then you can only hear the remixes on our Patreon. And then I will be recording a music video for whatever remix wins.
I'm so nervous for that music video. Like,
I'm excited.
Nervous. I'm excited.
It's going to be really sensual.
That's why I'm nervous, because I just know
I wonder
it's going to be your dad filming you by the pool.
Oh, my mom just bought me pool floaties as a present.
Wow.
Why can you not swim?
I can doggy paddle. I think that pool floaties is the wrong term. They're like the ones you lay out on.
Okay. Yeah. That's
okay.
like
That's
I thought you
different.
meant the armband.
Yeah, the
things.
arm things.
I could probably, but maybe you never know. Maybe I will get those for the music video.
We should play just like a little snippet of Maria's. Just a taste.
Yeah.
And yours.
Just
Mine's
a taste.
little more retro. Mine's retro. Melissa's is present time.
It's a trap
legit.
song.
Yeah. Melissa, play a little taste of Maria's first.
We'll play just a little taste. You get the full remix on Patreon.
Just to make their mouth water.
La 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 la.
My name is Allie and I'm here to say that my name is Allie in a major way. I like to spit and I like to rhyme. Let me check my watch. Oh, it's Allie time. Allie time. Yeah, it's Allie time. Allie time. Okay, cut it. We can't get in the whole thing because it gets even crazier from there. You don't even know. Okay, now play him.
Just a little bit of mine.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
Yo, check 1, 2. Yo. My name is Allie and I'm here to say that my name is Allie in a major way. I like to spit and I like to rhyme. Let me check my watch. Oh, it's Allie time. That's all you get of Melissa's deep trap cut.
Mostly because I got to fix the beats.
The beat. It was very hard to get Allie's voice to any sort of beat. It was almost like an extraterrestrial was rapping. It was so not of this world.
No.
In a really positive way.
Yeah,
like
that's what made it so unique.
Thank you for that compliment.
Alien rap.
If you want to be part of this extravaganza, then you can donate as little as $2 a month to become one of our patrons. We actually got like 15 new patrons in the past week who wanted to be part of this.
I know, because we posted a secret on there. That's why.
Also we posted the secret of who Lydia actually is. If you want part of that too, head over to Patreon. If you are a cool person, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. We will read your reviews.
So this is from Rachel. The subject is bada bing, bada boom.
Whoa.
This podcast is bananas and I love it. It's the perfect balance of true crime and having a coffee with friends and shooting the shit. The cases followed are always interesting, varied, and followed up with a host of theories as to what may have happened with no theory deemed too crazy.
True that.
The dynamic between Allie, Melissa, and producer Maria is great and keeps me very entertained. 5 out of 5. Get into this podcast. You won't regret it. Thank you very much. And then we have a review from DTYUOY. It says, Bimbos Unite. Bigfoot is an alien. If anything ever happens to Asher, Allie's dog, I'm going to summon all the demons to destroy Earth.
Please, I would. Asher, do you have anything to comment? Boing.
This one's from Karen Wang. Says, give me the shout out. I randomly started this pod. I've been learning a lot about the actual topics, even though this morning when my 12-year-old daughter made avocado toast and teased her that's why we were broke, which I think was a random joke one of you girls said on an episode. Keep up the good work. I believe that was an Allie joke.
Yes, it was.
Probably. I don't even remember. I don't remember what I say ever.
Me neither. This one's from M. Goody. Subject is butthole. Between the unapologetic weirdness, the strange and diverse subject matter, and the perverse humor, it's really hard to say what I love most about this podcast. Melissa, Allie, and producer Maria together are what quarantine dreams are made of. Web Crawlers is a freaky delight that I can't get enough of.
That's so sweet.
And this one's from Corn Mom, with a K, assuming she loves corn. Helping me survive the dread COVID. Need I say more? Thanks for the dailies, ladies.
Oh, nice. Next, but not least, we also have a hotline. We got I listened to 0 of them, but I feel like we got 300 voicemails this week.
We got a lot of voicemails.
And we'll be playing them on the mini episodes. So again, our hotline is 626-604-6262. Please keep calling. It gives us something to do and listen to.
And put in the jingle right there, please.
Insert jingle here. Producer Maria producing like hell.
626-604-6262.
Okay, so if you guys know I started my coaching business and it's been going pretty well. So if you guys, I thought I did a discount code on Patreon, but I decided I would extend it to everyone. If you would like to try out coaching, I also do like guided meditation and like Reiki meditations, and I also like pull tarot during the sessions. You can go to higherselfhealers.com. And if you use the code PATRON when you're buying a package, you will get 25% off. So go to higherselfhealers.com. And if you buy a package and use the code PATRON, you will get the Web Crawlers discount, 25% off. Speaking of new patrons, who are our patrons, Melissa?
We have Martha D.
Yes.
Sarah N.
Yes.
Lauren J.
Yes.
Jeremy M.
Ooh.
Puddin' Cup.
Hell yeah.
Cody K.
Do you remember how good pudding cups were?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I had a dream last night that I was making like to-go lunches. I don't know for who, in a paper bag, and I put a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and I put vanilla pudding cups
Wait, that's crazy.
in it. And I remember thinking, wow, I haven't had one of those in a long time.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
What a weird
What is
synchronicity.
happening?
That's wild.
So weird. Okay, about Cody K,
Ooh.
Jamie C, Zach S, Sarah M,
Ooh.
Allison M, Ivy Z,
Ooh.
Heather D,
Eee.
Allie B,
Wow, a lot of Allisons.
Margaret M, Kelsey B, and Chanel T.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to the gang.
We're doing a lot of fun things over at Patreon.
We should insert a round of applause soundbite. Yeah, that works.
There it is.
Okay, should we get into our main story for the day? This is a real doozy. Maria, did you do your homework?
No, I didn't watch it. No.
Oh my God. Well,
I'm sorry.
I watched it. The Orphan is what we're talking about.
We're talking about the real life case of the movie The Orphan. Melissa, what are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about Natalia Grace. She's a Ukrainian girl who was adopted by a couple who thought she was 6 years old, but it turns out she might actually be a woman in her 30s.
I wrote something. Well, I don't know if I should say this at the beginning or at the end. Maybe I'll say this at the beginning, just as a warn.
This is all alleged.
This is all alleged.
Because I have some thoughts on this too.
Right. I think that there's a way this episode could seem, I might be pronouncing this word wrong, albiest.
What does that mean?
Do you know where it seems like against handicapped people?
Oh.
I'll give my take at the beginning.
Is it ableist?
That might be it.
Wait, what did Allie say?
Because I noticed it was spelled wrong and I just did the spell check. It's ableist.
I don't want to say how I said it. I think I've been saying that word wrong for like a really long time.
Well, you know.
But my
Are you
heart,
dyslexic?
my heart, no, I'm not. I'm not dyslexic, but that would explain a lot. Maybe I am dyslexic.
Are we being ableist against
I'm being
dyslexic?
ableist against me. But I think that she might just be a normal girl with dwarfism who was like given up for adoption, and like in these like practices where you're born and like your family can't take care of you. These hospitals like sometimes don't even have birth certificates. They don't have proper records.
Yeah.
And I think she was like adopted into a family in the US who like didn't want to take care of her or like take care of her needs, and then kind of like disposed of and like made lies about her. And it was just like them not wanting to take care of her, and ended up like creating these stories to put everything against her.
It's crazy what they made up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the more interesting part of it,
So-
rather than like her being insane.
Yeah, that's like one angle.
That's a disclaimer.
Because there is the level of this story where she like does have a physical disability, and I don't want it to seem like we're being like, oh, she's actually 30, like no one knows what the story is. That's like my take on it, but we'll get into it and everyone can have their own perspective. That being said, let's do our catchphrase. Let's get into it.
A couple claiming the young girl with dwarfism they adopted was really an adult who threatened to take their lives.
Her former adoptive parents are now facing jail time after being charged with neglect for allegedly abandoning Natalia.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
You're 16?
Yes.
Okay, so here is the backstory. So, in 2010, Christine Barnett, who's 46, and her husband Michael Barnett, who's 43, they obtained Natalia Grace in an emergency adoption in 2010. Her previous adoptive parents gave her up, and they believed they were adopting a 6-year-old girl from Ukraine with a form of dwarfism called spondylopiphyseal. I'm sure I butchered that. The condition affects the bones in one's spine and can result in difficulty breathing, early onset arthritis, and bad joints. And so this family, the Barnetts, they have 3 other children, one of who is a physics genius, Jacob Barnett. He's a child prodigy. He received fame in the early 2010s. We'll get back to this later. So in 2012, 2 years after this adoption, the Barnetts filed a motion with the Marion County Superior Court about Natalia's age, and a judge ordered her birth year to be changed from 2003 to 1989 on her birth certificate, so making her 22 instead of 9.
Like, how do you just change someone's birth certificate? That's so
I mean, if you're
whack.
the legal guardians, you could like petition the court to do it.
But it feels like if you're the adoptive parent, that's different than being the birth parent. Like, you weren't there when it happened.
I know. This is all weird. So a year later, the Barnetts rented her a separate apartment in Lafayette, Indiana, and then they just moved to Canada. So why did they abandon her? Well, they claim that they realized something wasn't right. Christine said that she thought Natalia was a fully grown woman, and when she was bathing her, she noticed Natalia had full pubic hair.
Oh, God.
She had an advanced vocabulary, she had periods, she had adult teeth, she never grew a single inch, which apparently would happen even with a child with dwarfism, but I'm not sure if that's correct or not.
Like, when you're 9, like, kids can get their period early.
That's what I'm saying. Girls get their periods as early as like 8. It's not crazy. So they did a bone density test, and they went to their doctor. They did a bone density test, and it showed she was at least 14 years old when they adopted her. The doctors all confirmed she was suffering a severe psychological illness, only diagnosed in adults. Now, this is all from the Barnetts, personal doctors. So Christine and Michael confronted Natalia about this, and Natalia went crazy, they said. They said she threatened to stab Michael and Christine as they slept. She smeared bodily fluids on the walls. She drew violent pictures of the family. She poured bleach in their coffee, and she tried to push Christine into an electric fence. Where were they at where there was an electric fence?
I know, seriously. But also, like, I was watching Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I saw that
as
too.
one does. And because she was on it, Natalia. And like, if you look at Natalia versus Christine, like Christine's a large woman. She's probably like 5'8", maybe, the mom, Christine, and she's maybe 160 pounds or something.
Yeah.
And Christine's maybe 3, and Natalia's maybe like 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Natalia can't push Christine. Like, it's just, I don't know. That I see so many things that are like roadblocks to this story.
So then Natalia saw psychiatrists, and Christine said that Natalia confessed to the doctors that she was much older. So this is what led the Barnetts to officially change her birth year to 1989, is what they claim. And so Natalia was hospitalized multiple times in 2011 and 2012 at the St. Vincent Stress Center in Indianapolis, which is a state-run mental facility. And then psychiatric testing revealed that she had mental illnesses consistent with patients in their late teens or 20s.
So this apartment, in 2013, they rented her an apartment, set her up with a social security number and other welfare programs. Natalia said she lived off of canned food the Barnetts left for her. She enrolled in adult education classes to get her GED. The Barnetts then moved to Canada so that Jacob, their genius son, could study at a school in Ontario. Jacob was a child prodigy with autism. His IQ was over 170. He went to Purdue at 10 to study astrophysics. Christine actually wrote a book about him.
It was like, at the time, it was like an acclaimed book of like, oh, this mother raised a son with autism, and that's why you shouldn't give up on kids who have autism. And it's like,
Wow.
The message is great, but then like, if you read some of the reviews on Amazon.
Yeah, one of the reviews, more about the mother than the son. It was hard to get past the feeling that this mother is a major egomaniac. The book felt like it was mostly about her, not her son. Much of it felt impossible, time frames, etc. I really find myself not caring at all after finishing it.
So that gives you a look into
Damn.
kind of Christine.
Yeah. Fun fact, on this list of people ready to testify on behalf of Natalia against the Barnetts is Christine's book ghostwriter, Laura Tucker. January 17, 2020, the state of Indiana filed a subpoena, a petition for certificate out-of-state witness, and a request for production for Laura Tucker, the ghostwriter of the book The Spark. Christine Barnett filed a motion for specific discovery and a motion for attorneys only.
So even the ghostwriter of her book is kind of on Natalia's side. So that kind of says a lot.
Then the Barnetts were charged with felony. Christine and Michael, who eventually divorced, were charged with felony neglect in September 2019, according to BuzzFeed, although Christine told the Daily Mail that a bone density test conducted after Natalia's 2010 adoption pegged her for 14. The probable cause affidavit reviewed by BuzzFeed News stated that Dr. Riggs at the Peyton Manning... Isn't Peyton Manning a football player?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he probably donated money to a hospital. Good for him.
That's nice. Children's Hospital estimated that same year that she was approximately 8 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. Medical records also show that in June 2012, a skeletal survey at the same hospital found Natalia to be 11 years old, according to the affidavit. So I think also I read that when you have this form of dwarfism, it's hard to do when you're doing like skeletal scans and x-rays. You can't really decipher like a real age.
Yeah, I read that too. It's difficult to tell exactly because it's not...
the bone density tests aren't really correct. The affidavit also said Michael Barnett told police that Christine told Natalia to tell people that she was actually 22.
Ooh.
According to Business Insider, the Ukrainian orphan, accused of being an adult, hung out at a drug recovery house and took adult education classes after her adopted parents moved to Canada.
So she was just at this apartment. She could have been 9 years old at this
crazy.
apartment by herself, just like taking classes and like...
That's wild.
So as of today, she was adopted by a new family. It's by Antoine and Cynthia Manns, who reported on Dr. Phil that she is an absolute pleasure to live with and that she is, in fact, her age. They said that she acts as a perfect older sister to their other children, making bottles for them, changing diapers, etc.
Yeah, they were like, she's totally normal and we love having her in the family.
And the new family who lives in Indiana, they denied the allegations that she's a scam artist and said that she is 16 years old currently. And that's the age that corresponds with the year of her birth on her Ukrainian birth certificate.
Yeah.
And she told Dr. Phil that the poison claims were a misunderstanding while cleaning with Christine.
Yeah, she said that like she was cleaning with like 409 or Windex or something, and like she sprayed the Windex and it got near Christine's coffee, and Christine like flipped out and was like, "You're trying to poison me. I hate you," and blah blah.
Yeah. So she's lived, Antoine and Cynthia Manns, these are the parents she's lived with for 6 years now, also said in the interview that Natalia does not have her period, as Christine suggested. And I'll insert a part of the Dr. Phil clip.
Yeah, we should play some Dr. Phil clips. Finally.
The last Dr. Phil episode I watched was like a woman who was addicted to, I think it was Adderall.
Sick.
And she was like 50 years old, and like her husband was like, and she was insane. She was like,
that's wild. Have you seen
Dr. Phil's wild.
Have you seen pictures of Dr. Phil's house?
The one where he brightens his teeth to make it look like his teeth are super white and his face is really like he face tuned his face.
What did you think I just said?
His house.
The picture of him at his house.
Oh, interesting. No, that's not.
Wait, what are you? Wait, what photo are you talking about?
He's not in the photos I'm talking about. It's just pictures of his house.
Oh, his house is insane.
Yeah, it's so...
But there's this picture he put up recently of him in the kitchen with his wife, and his face is like face-tuned.
It's like...
Jeez. Oh, God.
It's like a modern
Look at all
medieval...
those guns.
Oh, my God. There's like 20 assault rifles hanging on the walls.
You guys, and his weird heart-shaped pool... You guys,
that's nice.
You guys have got to Google if you're listening to this.
We'll put these on Instagram too,
yeah.
and Twitter.
Oh wow, like what's that? It's a lips with a teddy bear hanging down.
I don't need this.
Didn't
house.
his son used to be in a band or something?
Oh really? I think his son isn't it? Yeah, and like married to a Playboy model or something.
No, probably.
Weird. I do not see the allure. But anyways, you guys should Google Dr. Phil's house. It is bananas.
And so on Dr. Phil, Natalia was talking about the first family she lived with who had to give her back because she was playing with another little kid and she landed on his arm and broke it.
So when you went to the family in New Hampshire and you left there, why did you leave there?
I think it happened because they had 2 boys, and one of the boys, me and him were really close, so we like wrestled almost. But I landed on his arm wrong, so the mom thought I was trying to break his arm. So then that's when she was like, I can't do this anymore.
Okay, so how old is Natalia actually? So in a letter dated October 24th, 2016, that was obtained by local news outlet WLFI News 18, Michael's primary care doctor said that Natalia's birth year in the Ukraine birth certificate was, quote, clearly inaccurate. Over time, it has become increasingly apparent that this patient is substantially older than she claimed to be. Natalia has made a career of perpetuating her age facade. She has continued to fool those who have the best intentions. And so adoption cases are sealed by the courts in the state of Indiana, so documents related to her age aren't publicly available.
So if she's having a career of doing this, then that alleges that like in the Ukraine when she was whatever age she was, that she forged her own documents and then came to the US and lied?
I guess that's the only way.
Interesting. Okay.
And so Natalia's neighbor, Margaret, when she was living alone in this apartment, she said that Natalia loved to talk. She could be shy at first, but once she got going, she had something to say about everything. And while Margaret said she didn't believe it was right for a family to leave the country with a young woman recently out on her own, she also doesn't think Natalia was a child. She said, I'm not sure how old she was, but she had to be at least 18. She didn't seem worldly enough to be 30. I think it must be something in between. So Margaret and Natalia would often meet up with people from a drug and alcohol recovery house at the end of the block to hang out. So a couple, Vincent and Nicole DePaul, who, like Natalia, had dwarfism, had attempted to adopt Natalia in 2009. And during an interview with Inside Edition, they said that they spent several weekends with her to see if she was a good fit. She said that Natalia looked like a child, she acted like a child, and she showed a picture of Natalia with a missing baby tooth. So there's a picture of Natalia at 5 years old in 2008, and she is missing her front tooth.
Yeah, and she looks like a
child.
kid. Yeah, she looks like a child.
And that would make sense. Shoot, 5 years old, that's when you...
Yeah.
Since the story broke, another woman has apparently come forward in the Ukraine claiming to be Natalia's mom. Her name is Anna Volodymyrivna Gava. She was tracked down by the Daily Mail. She claims Natalia's her daughter, who she gave up for adoption because of her dwarfism. She insists that Natalia is not an adult and was indeed born in 2003, as her original birth certificate claims. She said, I know exactly how old she is. She said, this girl is my daughter who was born 16 years ago. Doctors told me to leave the baby. They said, leave her, don't ruin your life. Both them and my mom told me to leave her. They said the baby would never be good, that she would never be able to move, that she would be chained to a chair or to a bed. And she now lives in America with adoptive parents who want to ditch her. I thought everything was okay with her, and it turned out that's not all okay. So that's sad. So the state has apparently asked the court to approve a DNA test that would verify the claims. So I don't believe that's been done yet.
Interesting.
And so I found the school readiness test she took at age 5. It's to in her developmental age level is between 4.5 and 5.5.
I mean, makes sense.
When she took at age 5.
I mean, to be fair, though, I'd probably get the same grade.
Yeah, me too.
So a little bit about the Ukraine adoption system. Apparently, Ukraine's adoption system is corrupt and has a history of falsifying documents. Kim Thompson, another Indiana parent who adopted a child from the Ukraine, says she may know why Natalia's age is so confusing. I will say that Ukraine is above all else corrupt, and birth certificates were completely fabricated, she told Insider. Her son, she said, once explained to her how kids determine their ages in the orphanage. Kids would base their age compared to the height of other kids, Thompson said. If one kid was certain he was 10, a taller kid would be 11, and a shorter kid would be 9.
I mean, kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. Michael Barnett interview from 2019. He said they were in the process of adopting a daughter from Haiti, but the earthquake hit and that fell through. Then an adoption agency in Florida contacted them and said they have the perfect 6-year-old for him named Natalia. It was a closed adoption, no info about the child or the former family, just gave pictures and a Ukrainian birth certificate, 24 hours to adopt, or they were sending to a foster home.
Yeah, they were he said they called him and were like, we have this girl, we can't give you info, you have 24 hours, you need to get down here.
Is that
which is weird.
Allowed? The meeting was unusual. It was in a tiny room in a strip mall. Natalia runs in saying, Mommy, Daddy. She had just been given back from a couple that morning, and after 5 minutes, they signed the paperwork.
Yeah, in the interview, he was saying how it was weird that Natalia just ran in the room and was like, Mommy, Daddy, happy.
Yeah, that's strange.
But I mean, I don't know. Kids are weird.
Yeah, that night, Christine was giving her a bath and called Michael in. Oh my God, if my mom was giving me a bath and showed him that Natalia had full pubic hair. If I had just been adopted by a family and my mom was giving me a bath and then he called my new dad in to show off my pubic hair, I'd be like, call the cops. That. I'm sorry, that's on the parents. They're the ones being weird. I'm not weird for having pubic hair. You're weird for showing it off to the family. They said she would put thumbtacks on the stairs, knives under beds. Michael woke up and said she was standing over him with a knife. She took the 3 other sons' favorite items, a toy cow, a toy car, And when they were crossing the street, she took them out of her bag and threw them into traffic, hoping they'd run after them. Told Michael, I'm trying to kill the boys. Does that feel like real? I don't know.
I don't know.
That feels so that just feels so crazy.
I know.
This is nightmarish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christine lost her job over the drama and a GoFundMe was set up. Let's look at this thing. They only raised $400, so
$400.
yeah, good.
It's deactivated.
So some updates on the case. This past December, prosecutors in the case against the Barnetts filed an affidavit alleging that the Barnetts didn't keep up with their adopted daughter's needs for surgery to correct problems caused by her dwarfism, which caused Natalia to be in pain. Yeah, so like whether or not, regardless of whatever age she turned out to be or is, or they thought she was still a dependent based on her handicap. So like they can't leave her alone.
Mm-hmm.
The proposed new charges are neglect of a dependent resulting in bodily injury. Currently, they are charged with 2 counts of neglect of a dependent. When she arrived in the U.S., Natalia was examined by a doctor who set a timetable for her future operations to deal with the musculoskeletal issues related to her dwarfism. According to the new affidavit, I feel really like hot when I say affidavit.
Affidavit.
I feel like hot and smart. The Barnetts apparently went to court over a Justice for Natalia website claiming that it broke the gag order.
This website is, we do not personally know any of the parts. It's just someone who created a site for her. Has like the whole story on it.
Yeah, and they also have pictures of her, and you're like, this is a little girl.
Yeah, as her 2009, she's missing teeth at age 6. So the case is ongoing. So here's what's coming up in the case. May 22nd, which is in a few days?
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Michael Barnett's pretrial conference is set to begin in Indiana at 8:30 a.m. So I wonder if you could watch that. I'm sure there'll be updates. And then June 19th, 2020, Christine's pretrial conference is set to begin. A few days after that, Michael Barnett's, June 22nd to June 26th, Michael Barnett's 5-day jury trial.
In Tippecanoe, but I bet it's going to have to be on Zoom now.
Tippecanoe and Tyler, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if it's still going to be happening with coronavirus.
I think they just do everything on Zoom now.
I wonder, how do you have a jury?
That's a good question.
I guess if everyone sat, I don't know. They might delay it, honestly.
They might delay it, honestly.
Honestly, in my professional opinion,
they might be delaying that.
And then we told Marie to watch the movie Orphan.
Yeah, sorry.
Because she's never seen it. Do you want to explain the plot? What do you think Orphan's about?
Yeah, what do you
Maria?
think? Well, now you probably know, but what do you think it's about?
It's about this. I watched the trailer. So it's about this fun couple. They're sexy, 30-something-year-old couple. And
Vera Farmiga
and what's his face? Mr. Maggie
Peter Sarsgaard.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Peter Sarsgaard's married to Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yes, they're married.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, what a cool ass.
They're a cool ass couple. I bet you they live in Atwater or Silver Lake, and
they have one of those
so
architectural
cool.
digest vignette things that you can watch them tour their house.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Wow. Kind of bummed that they did that. I thought they'd be above that.
So it's about this cool hip couple, and they want to go get themselves a daughter. And so they go to the orphanage and they see this little girl and they're like, she's the one, because she's creepy as hell. And they give them the little girl, and then things start happening. People start dying.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, this is all from the trailer, by the way. And then they should go back to the orphanage and they're like, hey, something's up with Orphan Girl. And then they're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, she's been killing people. And they're like, there's no Orphan Girl here. This is that you didn't even adopt anybody or something. And then maybe they did. Maybe basically what they find out probably is that she's 60 years old.
Interesting.
Close.
Well, here's if you want to, here's your task. Why don't you try watching the movie this week, and then we can circle back and we can see how accurate you are.
Okay.
It's a good scary movie.
It's a great movie.
I watched it this week again.
It's fantastic.
And Peter Sarsgaard's just hot as hell.
You think so? You know, he's a little bit of a nerd.
I love him. I think he's a horny nerd. He's also in one of my favorite movies, The Skeleton Key.
Oh,
that's
one
a
of
good
your
scary
favorite
movie.
With Kate Hudson.
I've never seen it.
I hate Kate Hudson, but
Why?
she's actually
I like
tolerable.
Kate Hudson. What don't you like?
Ew, really? I think she's so gross.
Why? Tell me.
I just think she's like a gross loser.
A gross loser.
Maria.
You made graphics.
That's actually a really cool graphic from my cover. That's a good CD cover for me.
Right?
Yeah, I
Bria,
like that.
you are a genius artist.
You
Isn't
actually
that
are
cool?
really great.
I thought the colors were really cool. I'll send you guys.
Maria made cover art for Allie's new single.
I thought it just kind of like, listening to the song and just like being inspired by it, this is kind of what I came up with.
Yeah.
And it just is a cool visual and maybe the music video could kind of be inspired by these colors too.
It is pretty inspiring, no? The song?
I'll make you an album cover it'll be a rap album cover.
Please do. Okay, so just like to also important too is that Natalia has all these like online accounts.
Yeah, she has a TikTok account. And someone put all of the videos on YouTube. I don't know if her account is still up actually, but all her videos are on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel. She only has 2 videos. But it's like her just like at home she seems very young.
Yeah, I watched some of her TikToks on YouTube and I was like, this is like a little girl.
One of my theories, I think that the couple, they watched The Orphan.
Which came first though, The Orphan or Natalia?
What year did The Orphan come out?
I'm going to guess. Can I guess? 2011.
2009.
Oh, I'm really good at knowing what year movies came out.
That's a skill.
Well, you're 2 years out. It was 2009, so that was before they adopted her in 2010.
That's so funny. I really thought that movie was based on this.
Yeah, I think because their son is this like child prodigy.
Yeah.
And they have 2 other kids too, and they had to move to Canada. I think Natalia could have been like a bit of a problem child or like because she's a kid, you know?
Right.
And I think because she's been moved around so much, she probably did have difficulties settling in. And I think they just like were in over their heads because the parents, they got divorced.
Oh, really?
So they were obviously having issues. I think they saw the movie The Orphan and were like
100%.
We're like, holy shit, let's do this.
If the movie The Orphan came out before this happened,
1 year before it happened,
300% they saw the movie The Orphan, and then they made all these allegations. There's no doubt in my mind, and the fact that that hasn't been brought up until just now on this podcast is egregious, and I'm going to file an affidavit.
Another podcast that shall remain nameless, they did a story on this a few months ago. They didn't mention any of her being on Dr. Phil or her. It was just like from the side of the parents. And I was like, huh, what? Like they were just like, she's the orphan and she's crazy and she's taking advantage of these people. And it's like,
no.
I really don't think she is.
We are a pro Natalia podcast, and this all derived from the cursed movie The Orphan.
Yeah, this is what happened.
Maria, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think it's weird as hell all around, and it just goes to show that people are weird as hell.
Ain't that the truth? Melissa, if people want to reach us, where can they reach us?
You can send us an email at webcrawlerspod@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter and Instagram, and we're on Reddit and Facebook, and we're on Patreon.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Anyways.
Thank you guys for listening. I am Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
It's Allie time. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Allie time.
It's Allie time.
It's Allie time.
Yay,
Yeah, yeah. Boy,
boy, yo, 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 yo.
La, la,
Bye.
la.
La, la, la.
Studios original.